Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It's Saturday, the 12th of April, and this video is following the one that I put up a few days ago, where I discuss what happened in Harry's court case against the Home Office, where he is suing because Ravoc has taken away his security. Now, during that court case, it transpired that Harry, or his lawyer, had told the court that he and Meghan were forced out of the royal family. His lawyer said that on the 8th of January 2020, the Duke, Harry, and his wife felt forced to step back from the royal full-time official working members of the royal family as they considered they were not being protected by the institution. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to hold that sentence in your mind, because not content with doing all of this, Harry, the person who absolutely hates tabloids and said that it's a dirty game, has spoken to the Telegraph in only the way that Prince Harry can, which is quite shockingly dramatic. We know that any time that Harry speaks about his family, it's going to be dramatic. It's going to play the victim narrative, and it's going to literally throw everything but the kitchen sink at his family. Well, it's happened again. He spoke to the Telegraph, which arguably is the only semi-pro Sussex broadsheet in this country. And they claim that Harry now says that he believes his police protection was withdrawn in an effort to prevent him and Meghan from leaving the royal family to start a new life. The Telegraph has reported that Harry believes his taxpayer-funded security was removed in a failed attempt to force him and Meghan to stay in Britain after he announced that they were stepping back from public duties and moving to the US. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were begging Canada for them to stay. Can you remember when they went to the Canadian embassy in London and it was reported that they asked Canada, can we come and stay with you? Yes, they stayed for a short period of time over in Canada, but hot-footed it to LA as soon as COVID hit. Now remember what I said just a few minutes ago, that only a few days ago in court, his lawyer said that he and his wife felt forced to step back from the role of full-time official working members of the royal family as they considered that they were not being protected by the institution. Now he's saying that they are prevented him from leaving the royal family by not protecting him. Harry has said that the moment he was told of the decision was difficult to swallow, having previously hinted that it was the heart of the rift with his father. He has suggested that he would find it hard to forgive his treatment, and he said that his worst fears have been confirmed by secret evidence he has heard in court. Now, this secret evidence we're not allowed to know. Convenient, isn't it, Harry, that you know something that we don't, but hey, we've just got to trust you on this, don't we? That you know something that we don't, and it's so shockingly bad that we'd never forgive the royal family for treating you that way, and your wife. Excuse me, but I'm not buying it. It's extremely manipulative to say, hey, look, I've seen the evidence. You've got to believe me on this one. It's shocking. Because Mr. and Mrs. Sussex have never told any porky pies, have they? Now, Harry spoke to the Telegraph as he left court on Thursday. He said, we're trying to create this happy house, and that he and Meghan hoped that their own contentment would improve relations with the rest of the family. Really, Harry? The fact that you went on Oprah, the fact that you spoke multiple times on podcasts, on interviews, in your own Netflix show, and you absolutely hammered the royal family for the past 5 years, hounding them, telling all sorts of dirty secrets that you think were shocking. You wrote a memoir, or it was ghostwritten, but that laid bare a lot of things that really should have remained quiet. Yet you expect your family and their relations to improve because you are happy. I'm sorry, but over the last 5 years, your and your wife's actions do not actually portray a happy life. It makes you look miserable and bitter. Harry has said that they viewed the removal of their security, him and Meghan, as a means of trying to force them back into Britain and establishment life by making visits to the UK as outsiders more difficult and potentially unsafe. He said to the Telegraph that he could forgive a lot since 2016, the year he met Meghan, but not what has been done during the legal process and why. He suggested that he was deeply unhappy with some of the evidence he'd heard during the closed sitting in court. He said people would be shocked by what's been held back. His worst fears have been confirmed by a whole legal disclosure in this case that is really sad. And he told the Telegraph, and he made it very clear that he will continue to fight for what he regards as justice, whatever the outcome of the case may be. And he believes that he is uncovering a wrong and he is unable to let things lie and feels the need to get under the bonnet to fix it, adding to the fact that he was driven by exposing injustice. Harry says that when they announced their plans to start a new life in 2020, they were told their round-the-clock taxpayer-funded security would be withdrawn, and they believe that this was an attempt to stop them from leaving and forcing their hands. Because they feel that by removing this police protection, the royal family knew that it would be impossible for them to live outside of this institution. Now, Harry has always felt that he didn't choose this life, that he was born into this life, so therefore he must be protected at all costs. He believes that being a son of the monarch now, that he should be protected 24/7 by specialist Met Police officers. What worries me is the fact that Harry is saying that his worst fears have been confirmed by secret evidence he himself had heard in court. We've heard this before when Harry spoke about what happened to Princess Diana. He said that he's seen evidence that he cannot forgive the royal family for. It's his paranoia talking. He believes that he is the most unsecure person as part of the royal family, that when he comes to the UK that he is under immediate threat. And this bespoke approach that Ravoc has put forward and is implementing at the moment basically means that he has to provide 30 days notice of any plans to travel to the UK. Ravoc then take this and assess it on merit before a decision is made on whether or not protection is granted to Prince Harry. But this isn't good enough for Harry, and he believes that it is unjustified and inferior treatment. What makes it worse that he's implied to the Telegraph that he believes that King Charles could intervene in this matter, because he says that Sir Clive Allerton, who is the King's private secretary, is a member of Ravoc and therefore should be all over this and can whisper in his father's ear and change the Home Office's decision. That's not how it works, Harry. It really, really isn't. Your father, the King, cannot intervene with the Home Office decision on this. At the time of the Sandringham Summit, when Harry was told that the security would be withdrawn, apparently Harry was furious and he demanded to know who was responsible. And he said at the time it had been imposed upon him as a form of punishment for protecting my family and putting them first. At the time, the Queen was Queen. We didn't have King Charles. She was still with us. And I'd just like to add that no other grandchildren, apart from the Wellses' children, received security full-time. When they were on official royal family duty, yes, they would receive security, but it's not a 24/7 thing. Unfortunately, Prince Harry is not able to take his blinkers off and realise that. Now, you might say, well, actually, he's the son of the monarch now. Well, that may well be the case. But at the time, when the Queen was Queen, we had Prince Andrew, Prince Edward and Princess Anne, who were children of the monarch, and they themselves didn't get 24/7 security. So I don't know why Harry is expecting the Home Office to just go, oh, of course, sir, of course, anything you want, sir. Let's just roll out the red carpet anytime you want to pop to the UK. You don't really have to give us notice. We will say how high when you ask us to jump. Now, apparently, Harry was concerned that removal of his security provision was wrapped up in the idea that if you leave a job, you lose its perks. But for him, apparently, security is not a privilege. That is the most egregious statement that can be said. That is so arrogant. It's unbelievably outrageous. The Telegraph say that in many ways the legal battle has confirmed Harry's worst fears. His absolute conviction entirely misplaced, according to Buckingham Palace. That his father has the power to reinstate his security has only served to fuel a sense of betrayal. Again, that's Harry and his paranoia talking. And friends have said that if his security was restored, that it would be swords down. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Because his security was taken away, this is why the onslaught of the past 5 years has happened towards the royal family from Harry and Meghan. They are so utterly distraught that their security is taken away. And they mentioned this in Oprah. They made a massive fuss at the Oprah Winfrey interview that literally they have gone to battle with the royal family. It's just so petty. Speaking of petty, there is another veiled threat within this Telegraph article. They report that there would be nothing stopping Harry talking publicly about the experience and what he has learnt, putting together the pieces of the puzzle, writing a second book, or making a podcast. He will be acutely aware that to do so would cause further upset. But apparently, Harry believes that if he has uncovered an injustice, he should try and fix it. And the Telegraph say that Harry is unlikely to rest until he feels vindicated. That, to me, is an extremely manipulative threat. The crux of the matter is that he wants adequate protection that he believes that he is entitled to. An example of this is the fact that Meghan herself on Thursday was in New York and she grabbed dinner at the Polo Bar in Midtown with pals before attending the Broadway production of Gypsy. This was a 4-vehicle motorcade. And guess what? There was also an unmarked New York Police Department car accompanying her, which I'm guessing would be paid for by the people of New York. This is how Harry wants to be treated. He wants to be treated like an absolute celebrity and get security whenever he wants in the UK, regardless of whether or not there's a threat. He just wants to be treated exactly the same as his brother. And that's what it all boils down to. Harry is ever so jealous of William and what William represents. Harry hates being the spare. He's no longer the spare because we have George, Charlotte and Louis. He's pushed way down the line now. But ultimately, being a spare is at its core. He hates the fact that William was born first and gets the treatment that Harry feels that he deserves. My point of view is that he's an extremely spoilt man-child who doesn't like the word no. He expects everybody to do his bidding. He expects to be protected at all costs because in his mind, everything is a threat. And this article is a classic example of manipulating evidence. He's seen it, but he can't talk about it. No, but you must believe him on this. I've seen evidence that will make your hair stand on end. No, mate, you can't do that. You are literally throwing another grenade at your family. It's been 5 years, sunshine. Please, please, please let it go. Take some accountability for your actions and actually grow up for once. How many times is he going to throw in a grenade at his family and that they're just going to sit there and be quiet? I know that there's the no, never explain, never complain element to the royal family, but I think enough is enough now. Honestly, I'd like to say I'm shocked at this, but over the last 5 years, no, I'm not shocked at all. This is just another attack that Harry, baseless attack that he's literally, I've seen evidence, but I can't tell you what it is, but trust me on this, I've seen evidence. No, Harry, I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you, mate. But the beauty of this is that we will never know whether he's telling the truth or not because it's a secret and it was in closed court. It's the perfect way to throw your family under the bus yet again because he can't back it up because it's all closed. Yep, you have to believe him on this one. Nope, sorry, not happening. He's as mad as a box of frogs, quite frankly. My suggestion to Prince Harry, lay off the weed, sunshine. It's really riddling your brain. The irony of all of this was that he was in court last week, as I've said, in the UK, and that he's demanding his armed police are reinstated whenever he visits here because he doesn't feel safe and believes that his life is at risk. Then he jets off to Ukraine that is at war with Russia. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. He insists that he went there because he was perfectly safe and he had adequate protection. It doesn't sit right with me one little bit. So, what do you all think about this? Is it just another roll your eyes moment? Oh, God, he's done it again. Do you find it absolutely outrageous that even 5 years on, he's still lobbing grenades into the royal family to try and score points and to try and get what he wants? Doesn't matter how hard he stamps his feet. I don't think it's going to make a blind bit of difference. But the fact that he's not getting what he wants, he's throwing his toys out of the pram. What makes it even worse is the day that the court ended, he jetted off to Ukraine. So he's complaining that he doesn't feel safe. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.